BOMISpirit. This is going to be your monthly intuitive messages for the sign of Gemini. Keep in mind these readings are timeless and general, and if you're new, welcome. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, and all that good stuff. Also know that a lot of messages come through just channeling wise, and especially in the beginning, and even before I record, things that come through may not pertain specifically to the actual cards or reading themselves. Sometimes certain things need to come through because somebody needs that confirmation, okay? So use your discernment, but let's go ahead and get into it. Geminis, I'm going to start with the Pocket Archetype deck for you by Kim Kranz. All the decks that I use are linked below. Before even getting cards out here, sometimes that just happens when I'm like channeling, it's like, so they like slows down while it's coming through. Gemini, there are a few references to like the changing of seasons that are coming up, and I was seeing red hibiscus very clearly. You could be really craving that a lot, like actually like drinking hibiscus tea, or just maybe like really yearning for like summer. Like I keep getting a like remembrance or a call to like summer vibes. And I also was getting references to games, like they show me dominoes, for example, or even like childhood games or board games. I also was getting a lot of physical activity, like things that I would associate with like childlike play or like fun. Some of you, there's even like a sensual, sexual sort of stuff going on with this. It's very like out in the sun, having fun, young, youthy summer energy. Like that's really what I'm getting with you. But we are in fall. We're pretty deep into fall now. I'm actually recording this just a couple days before Halloween. So we're almost like halfway through, even like, you know, leading up to winter solstice, right? So we're kind of deep in the season here. But it could also, like, you know, depending on where you are, maybe the weather's just starting to get cold, or maybe it's been cold and you're like, I want summer, I want the sun again. You know, I'm getting strong Leo vibes there too. Just wanted to be referenced. But let's go ahead and get into this for Gemini. Lyra's coming up pretty strongly. Some of you, that's confirmation. You could be seeing a lot of lions recently, or even just being drawn to cats. That could be coming up for you. But Lyrans, like they're coming through very strong. Music as well. Am I taking this? No. Okay. Music as well. I feel like with music, oh yeah, that feels really good. That feels really good. Something about music right now as an outlet. I want to say not just listening to it, but actually like actively creating music, like with instruments, right? Or even with your voice or a drum. Well, drum is an instrument. You understand what I'm saying? Like participating in the making of music, or makings of sounds. Like that's coming through as very like cathartic, and even just as a fun outlet for you to kind of engage in that like fiery, youthy, summer child play, sensual kind of vibes. I really am feeling it's going to be good for your like sexual creative juices as well. Just wanted to be referenced. Any messages or insights for Gemini, please? This has like a very Six of Cups nostalgia vibe. You could be thinking about certain people, missing certain people. Am I taking these? Take that one. Okay. So I'm just going to let you know. So we had a few piles like come out, and the Self card was on top of one and the Ocean was on top of the other. I actually did the hangout for the, oh my god, I can't speak, for the new moon Scorpio on Patreon already, and the Ocean card came out, and it was kind of a crazy, like it was kind of a crazy cosmic reading. But the card that wants to come out is this, and it is, well, guess that's not shocking, is it, Gemini? We have the Creator. It's time for you to create. It's time for you to engage in that playful, fun vibe. I'm hearing vibrant. I'm hearing the word vibrant. You are vibrant. It's okay to be vibrant. Oh, Gemini, there's so much that just came in all of a sudden. Oh, some of you have definitely been struggling with, can't even hold on to the card. There's so much energy. Some of you have been struggling with getting into this kind of a space, okay? Some of you, it's definitely an emotional thing. Some of you, it's like an allowance, a permission thing, like allowing yourself to kind of go there, to kind of like, I almost want to say let loose a little bit, which I find Geminis to be relatively loose, but this is like being loose in a way that I think like has some kind of shame around it, or just like insecurity, or even an imposter syndrome. A lot of, like I said, a lot of things are coming through here all of a sudden. the emotional stuff. Some of you, this is like actually within your sacral. Some of it's within your solar. So there's like a masculine feminine dynamic thing happening there. You'll know how that applies, excuse me, to you. You'll know how that applies to you. Some of that emotional stuff is very dense. Very, very dense. That's why I'm like, well, I just don't want to feel that. But that's what happens when you channel. Yeah, very dense. It almost feels like constipated emotion, which is really weird to feel. Like it may even come out that way, like your body kind of tenses and it's like it's kind of there, but it's like really hard for the full floodgates of emotion to flow through. And again, this is like mostly for Geminis who are having a problem getting into this kind of creator energy. Some of you it feels like this is elusive to you, and I am like getting depression vibes. Again, discernment, because I'm getting very different groups of Geminis that are resonating with this. Okay, but the group of you where there's like a depression, I feel like that kind of goes hand in hand with the constipated emotions a little bit. It just feels like the vibrancy of this is like farther away than even you think it should be. Yeah, I like for some of you, I'm getting like questioning yourself or even like questioning what's for you, what you're even capable of. Like almost like you have an awareness that like it's time to be in this kind of vibrancy. They really want me to use the word vibrant here. But it feels so elusive to you or even like evasive to you that it's like, is that even real? Is that even really for me? Like, you know what I mean? It's like there's just a questioning of it because it feels so not possible. I feel like that's all around the stuff that I was mentioning before. Oh yeah, the sun's coming out as I'm like trying to say this. I feel like that's all around the stuff I was feeling before with you, like the constipated emotions, like solar sacral stuff. Some of you it's insecurity, some of you it's imposter syndrome, some of you it's needing to make peace with like being allowed to like giving yourself permission to be that version of yourself or be in that state. Okay. Can I get another card for Gemini, please? I'm hearing December. So we are in October. Which is interesting because like even as I just said December, I'm like, whoa, I suddenly felt like, yeah, are we in December? No, we're not. We're in October. We have the kiss. Something about December I feel like is coinciding with this energy of the kiss. The kiss I look at as like a catalytic energy, like a spark of life, a spark of vibrancy, of sensuality, of love even, right? Some of you, this actually alludes to romance as well. So something in December could be activating for you or beginning for you, especially in terms of romance. But I feel like it's a bigger message of like, I want to say your spark. I want to say your spark, Gemini. I want to say your spark. I'm also being drawn to the hands. You do roll the hands, and where there was one, now there's two. I'm bringing brought, oh my God, I can't speak, I'm sorry. I'm getting brought back to that nostalgia. Some of you, yes, are thinking of a specific person or people. Some of you, it's more just the nostalgia of a feeling, right? A nostalgia of like what it feels like to experience the spark or to experience being in that creator energy. The freedom, the fun, the frolic. Oh, Gemini, I can feel the emotion, but yeah, it feels very like constipated. The freedom, the fun, the frolic, the spontaneity, the surprise, the adventure, the excitement. That I feel like that word wanted to be first, but like again, there's some kind of constipated energy with your energy. Some kind of constipated energy with your energy. Something constipated energetically is happening here. Can I get a third card for Gemini, please? So again, December came up right before the kiss, so just remember that. Okay. Woo. More hands. More hands, Gemini. And we have the cave. I feel like this is where you're at. Yeah, I do. I feel like this is way more where you're at. Ooh, and I'm starting to get some interesting things here. A bit of like a prying energy. And I was kind of feeling that even before we had the first card come out. But the cave is kind of confirming it. Like it just has this feeling of like trying to peek in on a private space. Um, mm, mm. So Gemini, before I continue, just know that like when we start getting into readings where there's more than one person, right? Which tends to happen in a lot of readings, right? Just know that you can resonate with any of those individuals as you. You can even resonate with like aspects of those people that I'm going to describe. So just know that as we continue. But with the cave, I do. I feel like you're in this space of confinement. I'm seeing Eight of Swords. I just got it, which is actually a Mars. Is that Mars Gemini? No, I think that's the 9. It's definitely a Gemini energy. But anyway, don't mind that. Try not to let that bother me. I was literally about to say, don't get mad. I just got to be honest. This is definitely feeling a little, not a little, it is, just is. It's feeling self-imposed, okay? A self-imposed confinement. And I almost want to say like that your mind has allowed yourself to be in. Oh, there's a lot going on with the mind here. I'm just going to say it's the mind. I mean, we could try to get specific with like ego or whatever. Narratives, beliefs, whatever. It's the mind, okay? It almost feels like the mind is dominating you, which is interesting too, right? Because these energies, I feel like, are requiring your lower body, like specifically your solar and your sacral. Might be something going on with your root too. But your mind is dominating with the cave. And it's like, I'm even drawn to a little spark, like, right, like kind of like near the ajna where the crown is. And it's so little compared to what it should, I don't want to say should be, but compared to what you can experience. I'm starting to get very fidgety all of a sudden, like uncomfortable and antsy. Some of you could just be restless by nature. Some of you may have like, like ADD, ADHD, etc. Trouble sitting still. I feel like there's like a sense of discomfort there. Being in the cave, there's definitely an avoidance going on. There's an avoidance of the stuff that's getting in the way of you being in this vibrancy. Some of you, you're also just playing out some of you are just playing out some patterns that you have just kind of lived your life by, that have just developed over years of, being a human on this planet. And breaking those are really hard, right? Because it takes accountability. It takes you being very honest with yourself, and not justifying, right? Not justifying. The hands, they're drawn back to the hands. The prying, hold on, let me talk about the prying for a minute. For those of you who are like very psychic, intuitive, even like telepathic, there could be some intrusion like happen. Yeah, the wind just kicked up really strong. There could be some like intrusion happening, like someone's wondering about you, like, and that kind of happens when you start thinking about people, right? When you start thinking about somebody, that you might come up in their awareness, and then in turn they start thinking about you, and it kind of starts going back and forth. I'm just getting a little bit of that, okay? Whether it's bad or good is up to your own perception. But the hands, man, the hands, so many hands. It's interesting too, because the cave has 2 hands, right? Where the crater is 1, the kiss and the cave, there's 2. You may even feel or sense that like you're supposed to be, I hate to say supposed to, but maybe this is also your own language. Sometimes that happens when I channel, like how people's like, sorry, I can't speak. Individual vernaculars will come through, mannerisms will come through. Like the last aqua reading I did was so sexual, and like I'm a sexual person, I am, but like I found myself making these very like cheesy raunchy jokes, which is like not me, and I was like, someone really likes raunchy jokes. But anyway, I'm just sharing. Yeah, I'm just getting a lot of like, I should be doing this, or this should be happening, like a lot of shoulds, which I don't think is helping you, especially if you feel like you're really caught up in the mind, Gemini. Yeah, that's not helping you. That's not helping you. We can want, right? We can see the possibilities. I think it would be a benefit to your mental health and your own psyche to avoid words like I should or I need, even. Like, yes, we all have needs, but like to say like I need to do this, that like puts this like pressure, that like applies pressure to the self in a way that can like really inhibit flow, and it really takes away, and sometimes it kind of takes away our own sovereignty and power with realizing that it's really up to us whatever we decide to do, not to do, and it doesn't have to be a forceful experience, right? We don't have to be hard on ourselves, essentially, is what I'm getting at. But with the cave, with the two, running away from me, hold on. But with the cave, with the two hands, I feel like there is some sort of psychic connection happening. I can't get away from that feeling. And I almost wonder if you're being coaxed out of the cave. Energetically, psychically, spiritually, being coaxed out of the cave. Some of you, this could be very like physical, like someone's like maybe trying to get you to go out or maybe trying to get you to do stuff. Some of you, this is actually just a future version of you trying to get you out of your own cave. So take it as it resonates, but I can't get away from this feeling of like, yeah, like an assistance or reminder or a psychic or telepathic pull. You can think of it as a pull from your team, right? It doesn't even have to be from another person. I think for a lot of you, it is another person though. But anyway, I digress. This pull to come out of the cave, come out of confinement, and start to remember that you are vibrant, and remember how to be vibrant and how to get in that creator energy. I feel like you're so close, even though you feel like you're not. Because some of you, I feel like you're perceiving this kind of vibrant creator energy as just almost impossible, like not available to you. But that's not true. I feel like that's a lie. And I feel like that's part of the lie of the mind. You could even say the ego here, right? Like tricking you. Probably that's a safety thing, right? Like that happens when we experience like bad shit, like parts of our psyche kind of take over and start to get in the driver's seat to protect us from not experiencing that kind of shit again. So I do feel like a lot of you, this is just like a piece of you, a fractal of you that's trying to keep you safe, but like to the detriment of your own play and fun and potentially connecting with someone else or going through some sort of like interesting expansion. I'm actually hearing glow up for some of you, or activation to come that's also coinciding with December in some way. So very interesting. I can't believe we're at 20 minutes already. This is what happens when you just like, right? There is going to be a part 2, which will be linked below for your convenience, just so you know, if you want to go deeper. All right. I'm looking at the Fae and I'm looking at the animals here. We're going with animals. Okay. I'm using the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. I'm hearing Cancer, which is your neighbor. Mars is actually, is it in Leo already by the time I'm recording? No, because because on New Moon Scorpio, Mars will be in Cancer 29 degrees, part of the Grand Water Trine of New Moon Scorpio. Yeah, so it's in Cancer as I'm recording. Anyway, but yeah, Cancer. Any other messages or insights for Gemini? So definitely some trust stuff going on here, Gemini. Oh, interesting. We have the otter and the starfish. So otter is definitely a very heart-centered kind of an energy medicine. I consider the otter to be like 6 of Cups, 2 of Cups lovers. And then we also have the starfish, which to me is kind of like the star card, but it's also very like magnetic and captivating. Like, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. I just feel like it's magnetism. It's magnetism and it's being seen. It's being seen, but being seen in a way that's not superficial, which is interesting because the starfish card is also known to like represent superficiality. But with the otter here, the otter is pretty clear. The otter is like, it's the heart. It's the heart and soul connection, right? That's what the otter is representing here. But I feel like the star is just indicating a magnetism or being witnessed in that, being seen for that, from that place or to that kind of place. Again, I just keep getting like there's some kind of force that's trying to get you out of the cave, trying to get you out of your confinement. Some of you could say it's your comfort zone. Some of you could say it's your shell, especially if you got some Cancer in your chart, right? Doesn't really matter how you look at it, but that's what's coming through. That's what's coming through. And I'm just getting a variety of like these types of forces that are trying to coax you out of your comfort zone, your shell, your cave. For some of you, it's your team. Some of you, it's your guides, right? Some of you, it's an actual person. Some of you, it's someone you're connecting with psychically, telepathically. So a lot of different ways here. Let's get another card. Can I get another, please, for Gemini? Don't play it so safe. Oh, Jesus, as I said that. Yeah, hyena. Hyena is like a Seven of Swords energy. Hyena is also a masking energy. Hold on. Oh, just as I said, don't play it so safe. Oh. Oh. Don't play it so safe, Gemini. The otter is very vulnerable, okay? Otter is very, very vulnerable. Hyena is the exact opposite of that, pretty much. Hyena doesn't always have to be bad. It can literally just represent, again, like something being hidden or like hiding some sense of truth or self away. And I do feel like that is why that card is out here for you. Like you feel this pull. You absolutely feel this pull. You know this pull is happening. You're the only one that can stop, that can get in your own way here, is that how I want to say that. You're the only one who's going to get in your own way with this. It's time to get out of that hyena energy. It's time to drop the mask. Okay. I am hearing the word secrets. We do have the new moon Scorpio coming up. Secrets will definitely be part of this new moon. This is kind of a cool new moon, actually. I think I say that. I know I say that every single 2 weeks, right? This is a great full moon. Oh, this is a great new moon. But it is. They all are. They're all magical in their own way. It's just true. But what's interesting about this one is it's all about going back to the beginning. It's all about origin stories. Going back to the beginning. Going back to the scene of the crime, going back to the root, the first event, the first whatever, right? To really gain perspective on the present and to reevaluate, release, reaffirm whatever needs reing, right? That's what this new moon is about. So it's interesting too, because like, maybe that's what you're avoiding. You know, we had all this like childlike energy coming up, right? To say like, embrace that, embrace that, embrace that. There might be something that would benefit you about going back to the beginning. Maybe going back to the beginning of your childhood, if you can do that kind of regression, right? Or going back to the beginning of when you started this pattern of confinement, because some of you, this is just a pattern and way of being, right? If you're thinking about someone or in particular and like they're on your mind a lot, or like this person, or there's a specific person trying to like get you out of this cave mode, go back to the beginning of like that relationship or that friendship or ship, you know what I mean? There might be something for you there. Yeah, I feel like there's a reveal in the works there for you, for those where that applies. All right, let's get a couple tarot cards out here and then we're gonna move into part 2. I'm going to do Rider-Waite. I can feel a fatigue from you, Gemini. I think that's the constipated emotion, okay? When emotion doesn't move, it can really drag down the body. It can really drain our energy, very much so. Sorry if I'm lagging. I'm obviously not in my normal place, right? So hopefully the internet holds. Okay. Could I get a card for Otter, please, for Gemini? I feel a suspicion. Okay. Page of Swords and the Otter. There's definitely, oh, this feels very like like a freaked out animal is like the best way I can describe it. Like I'm watching Clyde right now. He's chill. He's really happy, right? But when he gets anxious, like what does he do? Like with most cats, they like what's happening, what's really going, like it's almost like a little hypervigilance anxiety that I'm actually getting from the Page of Swords, which is interesting to feel, but it's in relation to the Otter. There are quite a few ways that this could be coming up, okay? Because I feel like for some of you, this is actually representing a bit of your inner child or an aspect of you that has enabled you to be isolated or in that place of confinement as a pattern, okay? Others of you, if there's a physical person who is like trying to get you out of the cave, right? Or even just someone you're thinking of who like, you know, is like doing that, like telepathically, spiritually, whatever. Your response could be that. Your response could be a little bit like a scared animal. Like I just keep getting like an animal reference here, like a very primal, like don't trust kind of a response. I almost want to say skittish. Yeah, that's a good word. Like defensively skittish. Yeah, like defensively skittish. Very sus about the Otter. Very sus, very resistant, very like, I don't know about that. I don't know about connecting with anybody like that. I don't know about getting in that place within myself. It's like, it almost want to say it evokes fear, is what I'm gathering. Okay. Tell me about Starfish. They're bringing me back to the mind. Because remember with the cave, I kept getting this like domination of the mind. With the Page of Swords, something that you would benefit from is also allowing yourself to be a little bit more open-minded, a little bit more mentally malleable, which you're a Gemini. I would say you are the most mentally malleable, but you know, just like anybody, regardless of astrology, when bad shit happens and we have trauma responses and all that, those things are hard to break, and sometimes those things can take over, right? Regardless of our sign. All right, tell me about Starfish. Oh, I'm getting a lot of resistance to this too. Just as I say that. Seven of Swords. The Starfish is definitely the magnetic pole. There's no doubt about it. That's what I was feeling. It's like a knowing, a pulling, an allure, like even an attraction, maybe even from someone else. It's just like, it's just this undeniable getting pulled or magnetized to or away from someone, something. But the Seven of Swords, like I said, is kind of like the hyena card. So I'm not surprised it's out here. But the Seven of Swords, well, it is about like deceit and betrayal and secrecy. It's also a card of subtlety, but it's also a card of subtlety. But even as I said that, like I know it's like, how do I say? I feel like you're trying to like Gemini yourself. It's like you're trying to do some like Gemini ninja gymnastics here, but like on yourself, which is very interesting. Like, yes, Geminis are very intelligent and you are manipulative. It doesn't have to be a bad thing, right? We can be manipulative in a way that's actually helpful, but you're really good at that. And I just feel like you're doing it to yourself. I gotta be honest here, because with the Seven of Swords, you're aware of this pull, like you can't deny it. You can't deny it. Like you cannot deny it. But at the same time, you're trying really hard not to even look at it. You're trying really hard to like pivot this way, pivot that way, distract. Like, you know what I mean? It's like you're trying to find loopholes, I want to say, or back doors. Like this is like so Gemini. You're trying to find like loopholes or back doors, like around this pulling that you're feeling, this nudging you're feeling to come out of the cave. Because I can feel it like you want to, but you don't want to. You want to get in the creator energy that will lead to this kiss. Like you definitely want to, but you're scared. That's what it's coming down to. You're scared. For whatever reason, you're scared. That can be insecurity. It could be trauma. Insert here. It could be anything, right? But it's coming down to fear. It's coming down to fear. Let's look at the hyena. Can I get a card for Gemini, please, for hyena? Is that I bet it's the Six of Cups. Hold on. Yeah, this energy is all over your reading. We have a second one. Oh, Gemini. Those constipated emotions. There it is. Six of Cups and the Five of Cups. That's what it is. Constipated emotions about the past, or nostalgic memories, or even soul contracts, or family patterns. There it is. There it is. Five of Cups is grief. It's grief and it's sadness and it's loss. It's even depression. The 6 and the 5 indicate that there's an Ace of Cups at play, which to me always represents the heart or the soul. And yes, it also represents like new beginnings or opportunities in love or emotional stability. But it's about your heart. It's about your heart and whatever these constipated emotions are that are enabling this, that are enabling you being confined to the cave and not embracing that creator energy. Okay? Okay. I know, Geminis, I just want to give you a hug. All right, we're going to get into part 2 where we're going to dive deeper into all of this. We're definitely going to be doing a deep dive into what your constipated emotions are about, or what else could be going on there, along with this pull that's happening, and definitely this Page of Swords, because again, I'm feeling that like triggery response, but some of you, there is like a physical person that's like trying to get you out of this pattern, okay? I'm really feeling for most of you it's a pattern. But anyway, I digress. I'm going to join you guys over in part 2 if this is where we depart. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I hope it was helpful and supportive, and I will see you guys very soon, okay? Take care, Geminis.